Hello Dixie Belle paint fans. How are you today? It's Melissa coming to you live from the dining room floor where we sit here every Wednesday at 3 p.m. and play with paint. So how are you? Everybody good? Great. All right, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Melissa. I am the owner and artist at the Top Drawer RVA located in Richmond, Virginia, and I am a faux finish painter. I love color, I love to paint real things, I like to paint stripes and stars and all sorts of crazy things. And today I thought we could get together and paint a little bit of color with a ombre night sky. I kind of have an idea in my head and we're going to see if we can pull it together and make it happen today. I came in here with my Boss in gray and I did 2 coats of Boss in gray. Have you used this before? It's fun. I really like it. I like the gray because it really helps when you're using colors that, you know, have different pigments, you know, those pinks, those reds, things like that. I'm going to be using a lot of blues today, and then coming down into like some light greens, possibly, maybe, we'll see. So I knew that Boss would be wonderful for blocking those stains. And even with 2 coats of Boss, I can still see a little bit of stains coming through on this really old Victrola. So, want to paint? Who wants to play with paint? Let's jump in, shall we? Okay, so this is the front. It's got 2 doors that open up here and 2 doors that open up here. There is no music player in here. At one point there was. When I purchased this at auction, the machine was already gone. It was removed. So I have just left it open. I think I will leave it open because it gives you a good storage. So I'm going to turn it. I think we're going to paint the side today, okay? You know why? Because I said so. Because I feel like I want to practice on the side before I do the front with this look that we're doing. So I see some people watching. Hey Pat, hey Frankie. All right, cool. So you can see this little hole right here. This is actually part of the Victrola where you remember would have turned the side of the machine with a crank to get it to play. I've taken off the hardware and I've put it aside. I will put it back on when I'm finished, but for now I'm going to leave that hole there. Even though the machine is removed, I think it helps with the integrity of the piece. So I'm going to aim you down a little bit more. Jump in with some colors. All right, so I have a bunch of brushes on the floor today. Dun, 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 all the brushes, because I'm going to use a lot of color. And like I said, I have this vision in my head. We're going to see if we can make it happen. So let me explain it to you. My vision is a night sky, okay? This night sky has almost like trees coming up like this and touching in the middle. So dark around the edges, dark around the base, and then lighter blue in the middle where like the focal of the picture would be, okay? So I think like I need to do dark but not black because the trees will be black, right? I can't do black when the trees are going to be there and they're going to be dark. So I have on the floor, I have some aubergine, I have some Bunker Hill, and I have some Caviar. And we're going to mix those 3 colors a little bit together and see what we can get. My plan is to lay down the initial color and then come in with this new brush. Have you seen this? Fantabulous new brush. This is actually going to be available very soon from Dixie Belle. Right now you can check your elite retailer to see if they have it. This is going to be called the Best Dang Brush. And this brush for blending is by far my new favorite. I love it. I love this brush. Okay, so let's get started. Bunch of different brushes on the floor. I'm kind of going to contaminate my paint colors a little bit. I'm going to lay down an initial pattern, an initial color pattern, and we're going to see what kind of look we can get with that, okay? So I'm going to start with Caviar, and I'm just going to start to lay this out. This sky, right, this night sky to kind of come up. Here, I'm going to try a little bit of aubergine with the same brush. Remember, I'm going to get junky in here. We're not going to keep our brushes clean today. We're going to really mash them up. I just kind of want to see what kind of sky I can get going. The Caviar and the aubergine are from the base as well. So let me just come down here where the feet are. I don't know if you can see them or not, but at least I'll get some paint on them. because in my little artist head, if I can't see what's going to be happening on here, it's not going to work for painting. So let me just dump some Caviar down here on these feet. Done. Okay. We have Caviar and Aubergine. I'm going to put a little bit of Bunker Hill in. Coolest shape. It's super weird. I love super weird. I love weird cabinets. I don't know. I really like it when they're curvy. I really, really like it. So we're going to dump some Bunker Hill in here. The lightest is kind of here, right? Because this is like, if you have trees coming up like this, this is where the lightest part would be. So black Caviar, Aubergine, Bunker Hill. I'm going to put some of this at the bottom too. I like to start on the sides because it helps me gather my thoughts, and I'm not starting right in the front, so that I can really kind of plan out how it's going to be. Bunker Hill coming around the whole edge. Down here, I think, just a bit. Brushes. So I have Caviar, Aubergine, Bunker Hill, and I'm going to open a little bit of Cobalt, okay? I'm not going to use a lot of this color because it really is bright, but it's got that really pretty kind of night sky. When I think of night scene for this, I want to think of like kind of like a magical night sky, if that makes sense. So I'm going to come in here with another brush, and we're going to add a little bit of Cobalt here. These colors yet. First coats always go on, and then I'm going to come in with my best dang brush and do some blending. But for now, I'm just kind of planning in my brain, right? So I almost want it to look like a like, you know when you see that glow in the sky and that glow comes from that one section? I want to do that. So this is a little bit of Cobalt. Let's add some Peacock and see how that goes. I'm going to use the same brush. I just want to see the color. I have some Pure Ocean too. We're going to add all the pretty blues, if I can open it. Again with the same brush, okay? I know, I'm breaking all the rules, using the same brush, but I really just want to lay this initial base down and then see how far I can get. This is where in my head I can't figure out if I want, like, I know I want like a little bit of green, okay? So I brought my Limeaide. The question is, how much green do I want? Because I still want it to be dark, right? These trees are going to come up like this. So I know I'm going to want Limeaide. I'm going to change my brush. Actually, I'm going to shake this first. I haven't used this color in a really long time. If ever. Who's used Limeaide? Have you used Limeaide? It's a very different color. It's not one that I use very much at all. It's very, very green. Look at that color. Caviar, Aubergine, Bunker Hill, Cobalt, Peacock, Pure Ocean. Let's add some Limeaide, okay? Because this will be like the most interior part of the forest in my head anyways. And this might totally not work for what I'm thinking. But we're going to play with it and we're going to see what happens anyways. So Limeaide's gonna go in the middle because this is gonna be like the glowiest part, right? So what do I need to put down here? I feel like I need to add more dark down here. I think I'm gonna go back to aubergine. Let's add a little bit of aubergine down here just for some darkness because it's too light down here. Okay, and then we need to add this a little bit more blue. All right, so a little bit more pure ocean. And some dog hair, just for fun. Let's try and take the dog hair out of the picture. Okay, so now that I've done this base of colors, in my brain I can kind of see how this is happening. I can see how this effect will work. On the second coat, when you pull together colors and usually doing an ombre blend, you normally keep a separate brush for each color and you're pulling them together. I'm going to use this new brush today. Remember we talked about this new Best Dang brush? This is 70% natural fiber and 30% synthetic. It's a really great brush. I've got two, one for wax, one for blending, because y'all, this is a game changer when it comes to blending paint. This is going to make your job insanely easy, and I'm going to show you how. All right, so I'm going to go back to the original colors. We're going to add the original colors that we started with. Okay, let's start at the top. There's my Caviar, and then I have aubergine. Here's my aubergine. I came in with my Bunker Hill, remember, right here? And this is where I'm going to stop because I need to work in sections with this brush. I'm going to bring you in a little closer so that y'all can see what it is that I'm doing and then see how I use my blade. Okay, so this is where the arm muscles come in, y'all. I might actually like get up here on my knees so I can do this. Okay, so this brush, I like this brush to be damp, and I like a rag on the floor or paper towel to remove excess amounts of paint. All right? So I'm going to put my paper towel down here because I'm going to be taking all of this paint and mashing it together. We're going to get a little mashy in here, okay? So I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to dampen it because it works better for me dampened. You might find you like it dry. I like a damp brush for the mashing, okay? So here we are. We've got our wet Best Dang brush. I'm going to hold it fairly close to the bristles because I need my manpower here, right? I need to use my manpower. I'm going to take those colors that I initially did. I'm going to start to blend them together. Circular motions, and I like to take off that excess of paint. Changing these colors. I'm not doing a true ombre. I'm more like blending them so they mush all together. All right, and I do that by holding my brush and circling them together. This is not something that goes easy. You need to like kind of work at it for what you want to get look-wise. But the color blending is easy. It's just a matter of finding the pattern you like. You know, do you like these small little circular motions? Do you like to kind of pull it together left to right? I like that mushy kind of blend. Remember, we're making a night scene here. So let's go in and add a little bit of the Cobalt, okay? Just a bit. It's not even true, remember, because I'm using these brushes over and over again. I just want to add a little bit more lightness up here. Down. Can you see how pretty that blend is? I think I even want more blue up here. I'm going to take a fresh brush because I just want just Cobalt. Cobalt or Cobalt? It could go either way. There's an L in there, but I don't think you say it. I think you just like assume that it's there. Okay, so now, can you see my vision a little bit? How these trees are going to come up like this and curl in together with this kind of night sky behind. This is a really fun way to really pull your colors together. So I'm going to spray my brush and I'm going to go down here. We're going to add some of this Peacock. back on here. Not a ton, just a little bit. And then a little bit of the pure ocean below, okay? Now this brush, this big best dang brush has a paint on it, right? I want that paint here. I don't want it to come off, but I am taking the excess off on the floor, okay? So again, with the soft motions. Brush is a game changer for blending. Can you see how good that is? I mean, hello. So good, right? If you love it, show me some hearts. I want to see some love. Throw me some hearts so that I can keep working. I want you to give me some positive energy, positive vibes. Look how pretty that is, you guys. It's like a freaking oil painting. It looks like an oil painting. I mean, I can't with this brush. Here's the deal. You got like about 2 more weeks before it hits the Dixie Belle paint page. Get a jar, stop buying Starbucks, put your money in the jar and buy this brush because you are not going to regret it. This brush is so good, so good. But if you need it now, check your elite retailers because they will have it sooner than everybody else, right? Elite retailers always get everything before everybody else. Here's the deal. It is gonna shed a little bit here and there, not very much. I see a hair, there it is. Because natural fiber brushes always shed a tiny bit, just a bit. Isn't that perfect? This is exactly in my brain what I was thinking. So now, imagine these trees coming up like this and touching and looking gorgeous. And then something in the middle as a focal point. I mean, hello, it's gonna be so good. Okay, I'm gonna sit back, flatten the floor, and we're gonna keep going. Ooh, old lady. One day I'll have to get like a proper table and paint like real people, but for now I just sit on the floor because this is where I like to hang out, on the floor. Okay, so let's add a bit of limeade back over here. Contaminate it because as soon as I take this brush and start mushing my paint around, it's going to change. But this is where the glow part starts to happen. Over here because that blue is getting a little dry. Let's put a little bit more Peacock over here. Guys, it's so pretty. Seriously. My little artist brain right now is like exploding a little bit. So, you know how sometimes you get something stuck in your head and you're like, you have to get it out, like you have to get that vision out, or is it just me? Have I lost my mind completely? Because sometimes, and especially at night, I get these ideas and I think about them and I think about them and I think about them, and then sometimes they just do not translate. But this is translating. So I'm gonna do this on the sides, the same. The trees, the same. On the front, the same, but something is going to be in the middle. I don't know if you guys watched Bianca from Lotus Theory a couple weeks ago. Last week did this huge thing with a sword and a person and a silhouette, and oh my gosh, it was so pretty. It was so stunning. It literally inspired me. Like I was like, I have to paint something like that. I have to paint something similar because she just blew me out of the water with that one. So if you didn't see it, go check out Lotus Theory. Go see what Bianca did because her thing that she made with that sword, oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good. And she's the reason that I'm doing this right now because she inspired me. So you have to go check it out. She used like a silhouette Cricut to cut the images out and stick them on and paint them. I don't have one, so I'm going to be painting mine by hand. I just haven't decided yet. If it's going to be a deer, if it's going to be a rabbit, who knows? There's going to be something, some sort of animal as a focal with the trees, and it's going to happen. But how cool is that blend? Do you love that? Like, is it looking as good as in my head right now? It looks, because seriously, it's looking smoking hot. I'm super excited. Okay, so let's add the dark and bring the dark up. So I have the Caviar down here on the feet. Not a lot, just a little. And I add the aubergine and then the blue. Let's put that Bunker Hill. Now you know why I blended all the paint together, right? Why I didn't change my brush, because it didn't matter. I'm just mashing these colors. But here's the deal. Once I get in here, I'm not going to be able to have a true limeade anymore. Okay, once I do this, because remember I worked the kind of the top down, once I do this bottom part, I'm stuck, so I can't go over the limeade. So I will have to stop after this part. But for now, this is gonna be my way of kind of blending these edges together. Wash this brush and then come back in, because I don't want to dirty up the blues. Like, I want the legs to stay a little bit dark. Made to stay true. Stop, because if I blend this over here, I'm going to lose all of this gorgeousness. So this has to get washed. I wonder if I have my other one. I have one that I keep just for wax. All right, let's crack open it. I got a brand new one. I've been saving it, but I don't have time right now to wash a brush and come back, and I can't use the one that I kept for wax. Look, I put an elastic on it just so I could keep it for wax because this is sticky, just for wax. For wax, it's the bomb. It's really good for getting in there. Let's open the new one. And let's blend this limeade down a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna put some more down here. And we're gonna mash it. I have to take off the excess. Colors on the floor today, but it's not gonna work. I had some amethyst, which would be too purple. I had some yellow in case this got too, I don't know, green, but I'm liking the color that it is. Come up this way and grow out of the side. So I just have to kind of decide what's going to be on the front here. Hand painting obviously that comes in on this project. But for now, I think I need to stop. All right, let me show you, let's back you up and show you the whole thing. Dun, dun, dun. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know what's gonna happen now? I'm gonna sit on the floor and do the entire cabinet because I've lost my mind. I will have to sit here until it's finished and we'll go from there. What do you think? So good, right? I see Katie loving it, thank you. Okay, so let me give you a quick recap of all the colors I used because, hello, are you not gonna wanna do this too? Because this looks so good. Looks so good. It looks right. Honestly, I'm a little bit like, I'm super happy. My heart is very happy. So I did the top little edges in Caviar. I did the same on the feet, okay, because I need that dark base. Caviar comes into aubergine. Aubergine comes over here to Cobalt. Cobalt comes into Peacock and a little bit of Pure Ocean. Then I got out the Limeaide, which I legit have probably only used one time. Probably only used Limeaide one time in my life. And I used my beautiful, big, new, best dang brush. Here's the deal, y'all. This can happen on any piece that you're working on if you have this brush. This brush is your magic ticket to being able to blend like this. I couldn't do that without this nice, thick, chunky brush. So stay tuned. I will be back every Wednesday at 3. And if you wanted to see me paint this and finish this, come over to my Facebook page, the Top Drawer RVA, and we can sit on the floor and play with paint over there. All right, you guys? You have a great evening. I will be back next week with another project, and I don't know if it'll be as cool as this, because this is pretty cool, but it'll be something. We'll be here. Take care, guys. Bye.